I'm Barbara Haskell, curator of the Whitney Museum of American Art and the curator of the show that's on view right now at the Norton at the dawn of a new age, early 20th-century American modernism. I love this art. When the show was first mounted at the Whitney, it was on at the same time that the Whitney Biennial had been on. And it seemed a good time to be able to compare the mood of the 21st century with the mood of the 20th century, when there was such an optimism about the world. The title of the show comes from a Van Wyck Brooks quote. He said, "America is living at the dawn of a new age of mankind." And this sense that the world was so young, bursting with new ideas, new plans, new hopes. And that seemed, it's in such contrast to the mood that we're in right now. Modernism is looking at an abstract point of view. Essentially, those artists that look to create, in this case, experiences of the world or the sense of the underlying forces of the world. I think looking around, color is obviously something that American artists embraced from the beginning, and that Fauvism was much more influential than Cubism, that Americans instinctively sought out things that were bright and hopeful and ebullient. There's certainly overlaps in artists. And Norton has such a strong holding in John Marin, for example. Arthur Dove. They're artists that the two exhibitions share. That's one of the links, I think, that's important. I hope visitors that come to this show see how fabulous this work is, and that they come away with a deeper appreciation about the art that was produced at this moment in the 20th century.
For me, this is a really exciting moment in the United States. From about 1900 into the 1930s, so 40 years of American modernism. Really is a new diversity of artists at this time. What we're providing is a richer sense of this period and the art of this period, and that will hopefully help people really kind of understand it better. I'm Ellen Roberts, Harold and Ann Berkeley Smith, Senior Curator of American Art here at the Norton. The show is From Man Ray to O'Keeffe, American Modernism at the Norton. I conceived of it as a companion show to At the Dawn of a New Age. I've been working with this collection for over 10 years. It's been a real privilege to work with it. I thought, we have this wonderful collection of objects from the Whitney on view. Wouldn't it be nice to also showcase alongside them our great collection of American modernism, so that we can really kind of make connections between these two great collections of this material. A number of these artists are immigrants. It's multimedia, and I think that's exciting for me because that really demonstrates how you see these kind of themes that American modernists were interested in and subjects, multiple media at a time, and that's the sense in which these kind of ideas transcend media and kind of cross media. Photography is really key for modernism, and so that's why it seemed important to me to include photography. We have great modernist photography at the Norton as well. It's quite a small world, the world of avant-garde American art at this time, so they often all knew each other. Some of them did also work in different media. You'll see Man Ray is actually in the Whitney show doing stencils, and then Prince. But then in our show, he is represented in his photography. So I think really hard to understand Georgia O'Keeffe's work without thinking about the fact that she was so close to a number of photographers. We have in our show Rancho's Church No. 1, and then the Paul Strand photograph of that same church that he made when he went back 2 years after O'Keeffe painted it and photographed it from exactly the same angle. American modernism is not one thing. There is a real complexity to it. Some of these themes even seem to contradict each other, like the interest in the new and in the city, and the kind of skyscrapers and industry and depicting those things. But simultaneously, the interest in history and going back to very old-fashioned types of artistic genres like the nude. So they're doing all of these things at the same time, and I think that's what makes it so interesting. And really the moment right before the United States became the center of the art world, I think it's a really exciting, interesting time.